Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Right Brain Recess. This is when we take your creativity out to play, and you'll learn my tips and tricks to elevate your health and business to colorful heights. I'm Laura Sallier, and I got my coffee. Do you have yours? Today, I wanted to talk about decision making. And I want to explain how I make crystal clear decisions. And this is in response to last week's recess, where I talked about making your own mission statement and why I believe everybody should have one. So now you've got your mission statement. Now what? How do you make decisions? And I just got off of a Zoom session with a colleague. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to be there as a witness and hold space for other physicians or nurse practitioners or PAs that are facing decisions in their life, whether it's a career shift, whether it's exiting a career, joining a different career, collaborating. Sometimes I'm helping them build, seamless systems in their own business as a medical entrepreneur, but sometimes I get this invitation to be part of their partner in making big decisions, and I love that because when we're faced with decisions, it can be very paralyzing, right? Do I go to this school? Do I take this training course? Do I say yes to this job, or do I move? These feel big. And when it's a personal decision that affects you, you can muddy up the clarity. And so it helps to have somebody else that kind of is just holding that space for you and asking really good questions to help you dial down into what would be the best decision for you at that time. And so I'm going to give you a little inside scoop on my process because I think it works, and it's something that is not anything I invented. I think everybody uses this, but we just aren't as intentional or clear. So let's talk about how I make my best decisions. And it all boils down to core values and your mission statement. So if you did last week's exercise and you have your mission statement, you not only have a mantra that will serve you, you also have a great litmus test on, does this decision align with this mission of mine? And so if you go to your core values and you look at what you feel in your heart right now, like I am excited to be independent, I am really upholding creativity, I prioritize harmony and family time. I mean, there's a list of core values, 500 words long, and you pick out your top 5. And let's say, I'll give an example of a colleague that had to choose between 3 different job opportunities. And this colleague was just, there's pros and cons for each opportunity. And so that can make your head spin because you're sitting there, trying to organize your thoughts. But when you drill down to your core values and you ask yourself, what appeals to me about any job, not just these 3, but any job? Is it that I don't have to be independent, that I get support? Because, independence is great, but sometimes we don't have the energy for that, and that will come in another Right Brain Recess about timing is everything. So it's okay sometimes to have a job that pays the bills and allows you to rest and take off certain hats that you're wearing. Independence and entrepreneurship is a very heavy hat, but it's also a very sparkly one. But sometimes it's okay to say, I would rather have somebody else take that from me, and I can rest and just be using my passion as a clinician. So looking at core values, do you really like to learn? Is this job opportunity something that's more protocol driven, more methodical, which again is okay at certain times, or is it more flexible and allows you to learn and elevate your own skills? So all of these things we drill down to core values. So whenever I have a decision that I'm trying to make, I listen to my intuition and I feel that core value in my body. Is it feeling exciting? Is it feeling scary? Is it feeling trepidatious? There's so many words that you can assign. And even if I'm still stuck and I can't figure it out and I don't know which path looks like the best, then I take myself through the exercise that I did with a colleague. I said, okay, imagine yourself in the future 2 years. And pick one of those patterns of the path, one of the 3 or all 3. What would it look like if you were successful in each of those areas? But what would it look like if you weren't? Do you have an out? Do you have a way to build into this decision an exit ramp? That's powerful. Then you're not making decisions out of fear. Our brain does not think clearly when our amygdala is activated and we're fearful. it then is reacting instead of proactively looking at good decisions and connecting the dots of what might work for us. So oftentimes we fear, well, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I fail? Or what if? Well, of course, that can happen in any decision. So looking at each scenario in what would it look like and feel like in my body to be successful, but also what would it feel like to fail? What would it feel like to be disappointed with the outcome? What shit sandwich do you want to eat? And that's a very compelling metaphor that I talked about in my book when I decided to leave. My journey to leave family medicine, it was a personal one. It may not fit for everybody that I mentor, but it was great for me because at the very end, I realized my core values were so malaligned with what I was doing. And I could see that, yes, we all have to have a shit sandwich to eat. There's no perfect job. And the shit sandwich in family medicine was just all of the other low-value tasks that I was being assigned that had nothing to do with being a doctor. And I had really minimal independence and autonomy. That was a more bitter sandwich to swallow than the other shit sandwich of being an entrepreneur, of having to be responsible for a lot of things that I wasn't in the past. I didn't mind that as much. And it's a value-driven proposition for everybody that's unique. And this is why it's important. Let me get some water here. This is why it's important. Oh, good morning. Why it's so important to reach out. Find an accountability buddy, somebody you trust, somebody you feel like you can be vulnerable with, because having big decisions, whether to change careers, leave a spouse, whatever it is, you need to find your tribe of people that get you, that can hold that space in a non-judgmental, non-attached fashion that just is there to witness your brain making these thoughts and organizing them for you. And shout out to therapists. That's why therapy is so helpful. I recommend everybody retain a great therapist that they feel is a good fit. And just like having a good hairstylist, you might have to try a few till you find someone that knows how to cut your hair, color it, whatever. This is all natural, right? This is all natural. And so whether it's me and you want to partner with me or somebody else, find somebody that you trust and always have an exit ramp. What I mean by that is, don't be so gritty and stuck in any relationship, job, person, friendship, to the detriment that you're missing the exit ramps, that you're seeing this isn't really helping me. So let's say you pick a friend or a clergy member or a past teacher from high school that you kept in touch with, I don't care, and you're partnering with them and asking them some great questions and asking for their support, and maybe they don't have that energy for you in the way that helps you. And there's nothing wrong with them or you. It could be not a good fit. And it's okay to have an exit ramp and say, this was wonderful. Thank you for helping me this far. I'm going to go a different route. And if they're a tried and true person that is self-actualized and grounded, they will know that this is an opportunity for you to get help that you need. And you can still be friends and still have a relationship. But that is how humans grow. That is how we develop our own strengths, is knowing when to take that exit ramp and drive your car somewhere else, because it might be amazing landscapes that you never knew. But always having that exit ramp. And for circling back to this colleague, we talked about contract negotiations. We talked about putting in place things that would protect you and make you feel less fearful. That if it doesn't work out, here's some exit ramps. Here's ways that I can still be okay. And if I see that things aren't working out, I can exit quicker, because there is nothing concrete in life and there's always options and choices. So thank you again. This was a little short right brain recess. Now you know how to make decisions with clarity. You go to core values. You imagine success and failure in any of those situations and which one feels like a better choice for you. And always remember, you can change your mind. There is no failure. It's only a learning opportunity. All right. Well, stay tuned next week and have a sparkly, wonderful week coloring outside the lines. We'll talk to you later.